If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
What are you doing this Thursday night? Why not drop by Sullivan's Steakhouse on Light Street? A fabulous dining room, a sexy bar, jazz music, $5 martinis, and food specials. Seafood, steaks, and value. That's Sully's.
Welcome back to Donnas Tavern here in Dundalk. Beautiful Dundalk. Todd Salkowski filling in on WNST, and it's my pleasure to welcome Drew Forrester to the program. And Drew, as the morning man for WNST, tell me a little bit why you like being on the air from those early morning hours.
I don't think I do.
Really?
Now that you mentioned it, I've never really thought about it before. But yeah, why the hell would I get up at 4:30 in the morning? Why is the baseball game on, by the way, when there's hockey on?
How dare they?
So I have to think about that, but the best part about it is that, I'm up and I'm gone and have some part of the day left to do whatever I want to do.
Now, do you struggle with it with the morning hours? You know, there's an old formula that your best and your biggest listening audience is in the morning. You know, the early morning drive. People are going to tune in. And, are you aware of that? And is that something that you embrace?
Well, the Orioles say they only have one listener, so I'm not sure who it is, really. We keep trying to find it. I like getting up. I got up early. I've always gotten up early in the morning, so it's not an adjustment. I have a 21-month-old who gets up at all hours, so it runs in the family, evidently.
Now, Nestor has mentioned on occasion that you and he are kindred spirits. I've heard him say that. Now, tell me what that means to you when you hear that Nestor Aparicio says that he and Drew Forrester are kindred spirits.
I never said that.
Well, I can pretty much, I know for a fact he had no money growing up, and I didn't. That's number one. I'm from the good area of suburban Baltimore, Glen Burnie. He's from the bad area, which is here. But we're from, they're sort of similar in their style. And we've known each other for 20 years, and
We both knew Ekman.
And we both knew Charlie Ekman. There's another good synergy. We both knew Charlie Ekman. So, more than anything, I guess it's that we've both been in the sports arena for the better part of the last 25 years or so.
I'm Todd Salkowski with Drew Forrester here. We're live at Donna's in Dundalk, having a great time here with a great crowd. And we've got the Orioles going, we've got KOBST hockey going. And Drew, getting back to the conversation here, tell me a little bit of what you've seen in the last, say, 5 years in Baltimore sports. How have you seen the landscape change? Let's start with how it's changed for the better, let's say in the last 5 years.
Oh, that's a good question. Certainly the football team has taken over the city. I mean, those 10, if you count the preseason games, those 10 events are bonding events, whether or not it's your family or your friends or people that maybe you don't even see except for those 10 times a year. The football team has really brought the community together. And I think it did that initially, but really hasn't been until maybe after the Super Bowl that people, and maybe it's the new stadium, but people have really made Sundays or Monday or whatever the game is, they've made those events something that you sort of look forward to the whole week. So from September until December, this year was January, I think the community has really been galvanized by the football team.
Now on the flip side, let's talk a little, what's the worst thing you've seen in the last 5 years in the sporting landscape here in Baltimore?
Well, I think a couple of things. The off-the-field stuff from the baseball team is apparently on the upswing, and if I'm alive to see it to fruition, I'll be thrilled with that. I think the decline, with no disrespect to Phil Jackman, who was a big part of it for a long time when it was good, I think the decline of the newspaper in town is a tragedy. I'm a guy that used to get up every day. I used to read Phil's stuff every day. I lived with the newspaper. I think the decline of the newspaper in our community, from a sports standpoint, it really is a shame, and that's kind of a void I think we're trying to fill at WNST.net. And we all want to see the baseball team do better. It's incumbent upon them to make it happen, but that's certainly been a big part of the decline, if you will, or the negative of the last dozen years, is that the baseball team is no longer competitive, and we're all hoping, obviously, that changes.
What is your personal philosophy for delivering good sports talk radio?
think you have to allow the listeners to, even if it's goofy stuff like yesterday, asking people if they want to keep Rick from Reisterstown or ban him. I think you have to allow listeners to have a forum, and you need to, and that doesn't mean that you can't have guests and things like that, but the topical things that you discuss every day need to be diverse enough to have listeners. You might like baseball, he might like football, he might like golf, he might like horse racing. You need to try to touch all of that so that everyone can feel like they have a role.
Well, that's all the time we have for you here at Donnas Tavern in Dundalk. I want to thank Drew Forrester. My name is Todd Salkowski on Wnst.net.
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.